Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I hope you are having a flippin' fantastic day. So I'm going for a little bit of a waltz right here. It's going to be a little bit dodgy. Currently utilizing the gimbal because that was the base plate I already had on. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit sketchy, but there's something that I really want to be able to, I guess, discuss and express. So hopefully it's going to offer you an insight into understanding, I guess, me, what I'm really looking to present, but also understanding the why behind it. This is something that's close to my heart. It's something that really has impacted a lot of people, and as you can see behind me, it's extremely smoky at the moment. Currently in New South Wales, there are approximately 150 fires that are burning. The majority of that is under control at the current moment, but this is potentially just the beginning of it. So the issue really is that we are currently on the back foot. There have been a lot of funds cut to the Rural Fire Service, and why that's difficult is being on the back foot. It's not easy to be able to chase the fires down and get on top of it. Although now it is getting a little bit easier because we've already kind of, done what is necessary to really understand how serious it is. It's going to continue for the next month, 2 months, 3 months, throughout the entirety of summer. Because about 2 weeks ago, in the end of spring, we already had some devastating fires that realistically the conditions were presented to be catastrophic. And that was a very difficult period for a lot of people. There are a lot of fires that are still sparking up. Around Newcastle at the current time, we are a little bit luckier than others, but all the smoke is being pushed towards this area, so the air quality is horrible. Throughout the entirety of New South Wales, the air quality is pretty bad, and one way or another, everybody's being impacted by this, except more so than anything, this is what I'm presenting is going directly to those who are affected straight from the fires. So pretty much I put forward an idea, I guess you could say it was an incentive that I really wanted to, put into place, more so than anything just for myself. I was sitting here just feeling so helpless, and in these situations, there are times where you want to be able to help out, but you don't know how. I put something forward last weekend that was just for myself. I sent it out to those subscribed to my newsletter, just, saying for this weekend I'm going to be presenting 40% of the profits to the Rural Fire Service, and that's just my way of trying to help out. Except I felt like it wasn't enough. I had a $1,500 weekend, it was great, all well and good, but it's not ending, and I didn't feel like that was me truly helping. That was just me doing something to make myself feel good. And really, I want to be able to, don't get me wrong, I wanted to do it to help, but it was also my way of, making myself feel like, oh, I'm helping out. But there's so much more to it. There's so much more involved, and it's not just the Rural Fire Service. I put forward something last night actually on my Instagram, just saying, I'm going to be doing this again. I'm putting forward 40% of the profits from the entirety of my sales to go towards those impacted by the fires. And I said 80% of that's going to go to the Rural Fire Service, 20% of that is then going to go towards, saving, I guess, the koalas, but also the wildlife that have been impacted and affected by this, because it is such a huge element of what we have in Australia. But I had to reshift my perspective, understand what it was, the motivation behind it truly, and what would actually be having the most impact. So I kind of revised, analysed, and said to myself, what is it? What do I want to do? What do I want to help? And being in a situation, recognising the difficulties within a natural disaster, it's very difficult sometimes to get back on your feet, and I want to be able to help out the individuals and the families. I know that personally I have this very optimistic outlook on it, and understanding that there are positives within the devastation and the horrific elements of it. There is also that kind of community element that comes together, and people can become so strong as a community, as individuals, as families, and that resilience is built from these experiences. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to disrespect that scenario, but there is this character which is built from overcoming this. But when you're in the zone, there is so much that is difficult. And from that mentality that I have, I felt almost guilty because I know how difficult it is. So pretty much what I've actually put forward is 40% is going to the RFS. So this is kind of, you know, for the water bombings, for all of that kind of stuff. It costs an absolute ton to actually go down with the big old choppers, spray down the water. I think it's like 50k just to get some, you know, water spread throughout the space, and that's just ridiculous. Like, that's just a small impact on something bigger. And realistically, I know that what I'm going to present is only going to be a very marginal element of it, but if everyone kind of pitches in, then it may be just a little bit more. And I don't mean pitches in with me, I mean going straight to the RFS. So 40% to the RFS, 30% is going to go towards, I guess, again, saving the koalas, the wildlife that's associated, those who are endangered and I guess under threat at the current time. That's something that really does mean a lot to me, as well as I guess the national parks that have been impacted. There are a lot of people that I know personally, and they are really affected by this because these are places that they truly love and adore and have enjoyed exploring and appreciating, and they're just getting absolutely ravaged. Ravaged? That's a word. It'll do. But it's ripping through these places that mean so much to so many people, and that's really difficult. It really, really is. So if I can kind of incorporate that, potentially I may, but again, 30% then from there is then going to go straight towards either the Red Cross or the Red Shield Appeal, whichever one's going to be, you know, I guess directly going towards those who can be impacted and truly help as many people through that, then that's what I'm going to choose. It's a very difficult time for a lot of people, and I really do want to help out wherever I possibly can. You know, we are extremely lucky where I currently am in Newcastle. We don't have too much of a threat directly from the fires. I know people up north who are under threat. I know a few people out to the west who are under threat, and down to the south. But where we currently are, or I currently am, you know, it's quite lucky. So I really wanted to, I guess, put this forward so that I may be able to help out and realistically allow others to acknowledge that it's okay to give back. I know that within myself, the integrity that I have, it's always going to align so that I am giving back to people. I'm always giving more than I take, and that's something that I truly do believe in. It's a very difficult time, and this is just my way of being able to help out where I'm able to. Also than anything, I wanted it to be acknowledged that this is not my way of, you know, trying to incentivize sales. I'm not trying to build rep, I'm not trying to, you know, do any of that kind of stuff. If anything, I think it's great that people can support a cause and also get something that's going to be beneficial to them, their lifestyle, their entire mentality. Something that I put forward within my imagery so frequently, and it's the entire vision that I have is presenting people a piece that's going to be on their wall that they can truly benefit from, reap the advantages of, be able to go through and have something there that's going to consistently remind them of the beauty that's available around them. You know, incorporating that kind of element of optimism and gratitude hand in hand as you walk through each day and you see that image and it presents you with a smile on your face. So frequently within my market stores, what I want to be incorporated within that connection is the energy that this lifestyle that I've had within the experiences that I currently am going through, chasing those incredible scenes, being able to truly feel fueled by optimism and gratitude. That's what I want to be conveyed within the imagery that I present, so that people can recognize each time they look at it, that energy that it offers to me, and be able to have that contagious side of it presented within their own lifestyle, and be able to truly build something that is going to be extremely beneficial for the optimal quality of life that is there waiting for them to take. And I feel that that is one step to get towards it. It's just about training that mentality, those thought patterns to be something that's going to be positive, and the way that you perceive everything around you in a very positive way. So that's something that I really do want to put forward. It's something that I've always been working toward, and it's something that within me I've been able to recognize has offered me so much personally. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of just, again, an expression. I really just wanted to make it, to put it out there, it's not something where, like I said, I'm trying to incentivize sales more so than anything. I was going to do it, and I felt it was necessary to recognize it, so potentially this movement can be presented. People can recognize that sometimes the money doesn't have to be within you, and others can utilize it a little bit more. I know that within what I am building, it sounds very up my own arse, but within what it is that I'm building, it's something that is sustainable. That is the element that I've constantly been working towards. I've built myself up so that I can build something that's foundationally going to be long-standing for the future. So that element of sustainability allows me to recognize that I need to have patience, because I will be able to make the most of it in the future when it's all there and I'm able to provide more people with as much as I possibly can. It's just about building and building and building, and realistically that patience element is something that I really need to be constantly practicing, putting into place, and recognizing that I don't need things instantly. It doesn't need to be there. I can live simply so that I'm able to provide others with something that's going to be beneficial for them. And that's the basis. That really is for so much of what I do and what I present. I'm going to be putting forward, you know, different opportunities for people to go through and have, I guess, lessons, be able to provide mentoring within the elements of photography, going through and teaching people just the fundamentals all the way through to the intermediate and advanced elements of photography, going through in the field. I have a few different pieces of equipment, so taking people out, allowing them to go out and just play around with the camera if they're not familiar with it, if they don't have their own and they want to see if they're going to enjoy it. Putting forward an opportunity so that you can see whether it's something you're really going to, you know, enjoy. And this is just kind of another step towards that. This is me, I guess, helping out in just a way that I'm currently able to, so that I can help more people in the future. And, you know, if you are interested in potentially, I guess, having a workshop, I'm going to be doing small, very small workshops in the future, just teaching what I know from my own experience. You know, I've got a ridiculous amount of experience within my field. It is very, very specified within landscape photography, but I hope that it's going to be beneficial to those who really want to go out there, appreciate nature, get immersed within the environments that do surround them, and be able to make the most of what is available and truly live at their optimal quality of life by practicing that appreciation, gratitude, optimism, you know, all of these different positive ways of perceiving that which surrounds you and presenting it in your own lifestyle so that you can live a positive life. That's something that I'm really, really looking to offer. So yeah, that's me done, but I really do appreciate your time, and I will most definitely catch you on the flip side.